always active on this end. Awesome when it comes to looking for his shot.
And the dunk by Zeller.
That rim has a family.
That'll be a 5-second call. Miller's checked in for Charlotte. Jeremy Lin comes in for Kemba Walker. And Albuquerque making a change here. Here is Daniel. Now here's Lin. Back to Daniels. Outside, Lin. Miller sets a screen for Lin to the middle. And there's Miller. That's good on the
precision passing of Lin on full display there. So talented at running the pick and roll and getting the ball over to his man.
From deep, Evans, and that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. DeMarcus Cousins, he's been the guy making things happen for Albuquerque. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter. And don't go away, we'll be right back. You've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Albuquerque.
Well, they're playing with great pace, pushing the ball up the floor and attacking before the defense can get set.
And you can't turn it over against this team. That's a recipe for disaster, and we're seeing the results of that.
We've got Jeremy Lin, Tyler Hansbrough out there with Batum. Then it's Daniels, and it's Zeller in the center, locking down the middle. So that's who Charlotte starts the second with. Lin. Good for the basket, starting off 1-for-1 with that shot.
And Lin is just fearless, always looking to get as close to the bucket as he can.
Here's Cousins, and it's Lin with the rebound. And so Lin will bring it up for Charlotte, trailing here by 8. And Hansbrough kicks to Batum. Here's Lin. Lets it go from deep. 5 to shoot. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. Daniels, no good.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
This is a vintage performance from Boogie. The big fella putting pressure on him every single trip down the floor.
Charlotte calls timeout. A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Batum finds Lynn. Back to Batum. Over Evans.
A veteran play by Batum.
And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the...
After review, the ruling on the floor stands.
The officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double-checking, and the game continues on.
Walker's checked in for Jeremy Lin.
Well, when you move the ball, you open up the defense. Great job to make the unselfish play.
Albuquerque leading by 8. Here's Cousins. No good from outside.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
From deep, Walker. Miller grabs the miss. And Albuquerque with the possession. They've led by as many as 11 points. No good from Cousins. Outside Daniels. Inside, here's Hansbrough, and the rejection by Cousins. And that's out of bounds. Charlotte will retain possession. And we got to take a second look to admire that outstanding block.
And a block like that sends a message. One that says we're not giving up this lead.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
And this is where Walker thrives, an assertive long-distance shooter.
Lowry dishes to Cousins. And then Cousins with the dunk.
And right now, the D has no answer.
Daniels against Miller. And the foul called on Rashard Lewis. That is his first foul of the game. Ball's checked in for Albuquerque.
Substitution for Albuquerque. Number 1, Solo Ball.
Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Walker with a clean look, and the 3 ball is good. Walker's got a pair of triples in the second now for Charlotte.
And that is how he rolls. A prolific scorer. Walker's been calling his own number tonight. Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
Here's Walker. Following DeMarcus Cousins' 3.
Well, playing his role to perfection. Using his size to control the glass for his team.
And the 3 off target. Charlotte trails by 7. Kick out to Walker. This one for 3, and it's the Hornets another 3.
Well, that basket by Walker, it shows you he's versatile at that point guard position, able to score off the pass.
Now here's Cousins. He has 35. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Miller against Daniel. Miller grabs the miss. Albuquerque leading by 4. From outside the arc, and DeMarcus Cousins with the 3. Cousins has got 38 points.
And very solid three-point shooter for a big man. Part of what makes Cousins so dangerous at that end of the floor.
Charlotte calls timeout. Miller's checked in for Charlotte. And Albuquerque also making a change. Adebayo is checked in for Evans. Batum scanning the floor. That's in, and the Albuquerque lead is cut down to 5 on the bucket from Miller.
I like his focus in the paint. He didn't want to waste a high-value opportunity.
And they double up Cousins. Good ball movement here by Albuquerque. And again, Albuquerque with a triple.
Guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Well, what I love about his three-point shooting is the spacing that he's adding. It makes things a lot easier for everyone else.
And again, Albuquerque with a triple.
And Cousins just a very consistent scorer, effortlessly getting off the ground to sink these shots.
Miller with a screen on Miller. And a wide-open look for Daniels. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Good on the three-point shot. Cousins has got the lead up to 14 now for Albuquerque.
And there's the three-point shooting ability.
Down low. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Charlotte. On the wing, Batum. And some nice defense there to end the quarter. And so it's Albuquerque sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. They've excelled in the open court. Their transition game has allowed them to build this healthy lead. And we'll be back with you shortly. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You know, Cousins has really been making it happen, guys.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
Charlotte trails by 14, and so in the game for Albuquerque. All out there with Mike Miller. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Lewis in at the 3. And Albuquerque with the possession. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. Here's Cousins. It's good from long range. Cousins has got 50 points.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
And Adebayo sends it back. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Adebayo. And right now, let's watch that terrific swat.
Sharp instincts on D there. Just timing when to rise up and swat that one away.
On the wing, Walker. He's covered by Ball. Clock at 4. Batum for 3. Outside Daniels. Back to Zeller. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels. Zeller's got 10 points.
Well, that's what you like to see. Keeping his head on a swivel.
Here's Cousins. Adebayo passes to Cousins. The tray. Adebayo kicks to Cousins. Offensive rebound. Outside. Ball. Out to the wing. And DeMarcus Cousins with the three. Cousins has got 53.
Well, he's getting all he can offensively and making the most of it.
And the Hornets call time here. One of the stories here, Cousins getting it done.
Well, shutting down his three-point production has to be top of mind for this coaching staff. A new defensive approach is a must.
And so it's Charlotte with it. It's an 18-point game. Daniels finds Walker. And the layup's good off the glass. He's got 17.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball inside.
A three ball. The rebound by Hansbrough. And it's Walker with the ball, bringing it up for the Hornets. Outside for Batum. Hansbrough with the ball. And it's Miller picking him up. Yes, that goes in.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Zeller against Cousins. Up again. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bangs home the trifecta. Cousins has got 9 points here in the second half. And so Albuquerque takes the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that'll do it, folks. Along with Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for joining us for this one on 2K Sports. And now, our player of the game, DeMarcus Cousins.
You had this bread and the things you would get. If you was me, you wouldn't work this hard. You don't know how long I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on this. Devil in the booth, I'm Satan on this. Don't touch the stove, I'm begging on this. I'm Freddie, I'm Mike, I'm Chucky, I'm Jason on this. Run for your life, you shaking on this. Got some for hating on this. Look, all my celebrity crushes, I already. Be mad cause I did it already. I told them make sure to my dinner already. And I did it all and you could tell me. Boy, what I want ain't you could give me. Got plenty of Benjis, but now it's more money, more problems. I should've listened to Biggie. And this type of living is not for beginners. You kinda losers do not make decisions. I made the choice, it was not their decision. I'm not gonna listen to rappers who sound like broke records, but no, you did not make the Guinness. I'm highly offended. Only way you gonna get to where you wanna be, you gotta be a gimmick. And even if you made it to the bottom of the pit and try to climb up to the top, you know it'll probably be a minute. Always wonder how I'm feeling, and I tell them that I feel like I gotta put it. And if it want me, she gotta be a 10. And if she's sending me selfies, it gotta be too many times I told these stop playing with me, go play with your kids. I don't wanna hear no opinions from people who still got dreams of making it big. I don't really care.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to 2K Sports. Should be a fun one here. We have some collegiate players stepping into the fray. And tonight we've got the Clippers playing against Albuquerque. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. So let's take a look at the starters for Albuquerque. All out there with Miller. Then it's Bam Adebayo. Then there's Lewis. And it's Cousins in at the center position. And for the Clippers, Maggette is out there with Brand. Then there's Doolin. Then there's Chris Kaman. And it's Richardson in at the 2 guard. Pass to Kaman. Out of bounds. It'll be Albuquerque's ball.
And a misconnection there. Fans guarding their beverages. That's a pass he'd like back for sure.
is not enough.